Let me just begin by showcasing to you the history, the very rich history that iPavlov has. We are beginning our roots from 2017 when MIPT, the leading Russian university, won a large government grant for becoming a national AI center of excellence. And this grant supposed creation of a lot of startup companies and spin-offs, as well as development of application-based labs within the university. And one of the leading projects at that time that was established jointly between National Technology Initiative Fund, Sberbank, the leading Russian bank, and the MIPT was the project iPavlov. As you understand, Pavlov stands for the leading Russian scientist Ivan Pavlov, and I is our vision for being individualistic, serving each separate customer and being a socially oriented corporation. And iPavlov as itself was a project dedicated entirely to conversational artificial intelligence. Today, as we are known for the leading corporation in Russia as a developer of NLP solutions, NLP standing for natural language processing, and we're very famous for our intelligent virtual assistance platform that was finalized in 2020, right at the heart of the pandemics of COVID-19, which we are very proud of that accomplishment, since as you know, major businesses were shutting down and factories were shutting down, and our business was prospering because of our vigilance and our focusedness on the values, the core values that we share with the university. So our journey is very, very rapid. As you can see, just within the next 3 years, the project developed the first library. This was the very famous library called iPavlov. I'll be just switching back and forth through the slides. iPavlov, as you can see from my slide, has gained substantial attention worldwide, and our leading downloaders are corporations from China and America, which speaks volumes in terms of how much we could be achieving cooperating with China, not only research and education based, but now as business to business that we're actively looking for. And going back in history, once the platform was established and it was very famous and we had a lot of downloads, we started thinking in 2019 how to commercialize this project, how to actually bring it to the market so that leading corporations in Russia and worldwide could be actually using our technologies in concrete market applications. And first products were developed in the second half of 2019 and in the first half of 2020. We also did open a special laboratory in MIPT with leading American corporation Virgil, and we introduced neurocryptography to the Russian market before we actually launched iPavlov company in October 2020. But also a very important part of this is our cooperation with Rostec. And you can see from this slide that Svabe R&D Center was established in 2019. And this center really helped iPavlov becoming a corporation, because we are using giant corporations' support to be a national AI company, which is our vision, and we are implementing it on a daily basis. So as such, we have two R&D centers, two R&D wings. One is the lab of iPavlov that is creating more enhanced NLP tools going forward to the goal of creating general artificial intelligence. And we have Svabe R&D Center at MIPT that is developing applications with leading tech corporation Rostec, basically digitalizing and transforming Russia's hardware industry in terms of introducing smart applications. And iPavlov focuses at developing at NLP, NCV, and other areas that I will be showing you right now. So as such, as you can see, the company has 5 areas of development. I already talked about NLP. So Smart City and Smart Clinic are very important programs that we are actually actively developing right now. Besides of such obvious solutions like smart security for big cities, we are also very much into road infrastructure, and we're developing V2X and V2V solutions. We also create digital complexes for smart clinics, and I'll be showing later on a couple of slides where you can see our actual products that are the part of smart clinic. ABI stands for Artificial Business Intelligence. This is the sector of economics that is responsible for our operation with banks. We do have a specialized area which we call iPavlov banking, and this relates not only just to the data analysis and big data analysis, but it also provides critical banking services and solutions where actual robots via chatbots and digital assistants are actually working hand in hand with real people, with real operators, correcting their work, and also allowing to attract larger amount of clients and serving them better. Well, computer vision is a very well-known bunch of technologies, actually, not just even one technology. And we're proud to say that in smart cities and smart clinics, we are embedding our solutions using our excellent team of smart, application-based engineers who are driving this frontier. So just to give you a couple of advantages here, our platform for virtual assistants is very well developed in terms of integration with leading platforms that you can use in ERP. Smart Clinic platform, it creates a comfortable working environment for the doctors. So it's about more than 100 services that are integrated into a uniform platform through which doctors and administration of the clinic can actually have access to a lot of digital services, starting with the screening of medical cards and ending up with screening medical images. Smart City platform actually does serve from museums to road infrastructure, everything, and also even water flow systems. In Russia now we have projects where we can actually manage critical infrastructure when it comes to commodities. Now, iPavlov Artificial Business Intelligence, as I mentioned before, it does a lot of use to big corporations, reducing their costs, attracting more customers, and increasing the precision by which the robots can actually process large amount of data and give adequate response to the clients. Now, this shows you a little bit of the system from the inside. This is the virtual assistance platform. As you can see, the beauty of the platform is that it uses only open source software and is being designed to stay that way, so that our solution can be integrated with the client and eventually become client proprietary technology as well as a system that provides services. But of course, all of this is just basic open source libraries and platforms that we're using, and the end result is heavily customized. And the RASA and iPavlov platforms are naturally much more advanced and enhanced in our virtual assistance platform. This is a couple of screenshots here, and I want to stress the importance of zero-code programmable platforms that are very much in trend today. iPavlov EVA platform allows non-programmers, simple project and other managers within the corporations create their own scenarios of interaction between their employees, clients, partners, and anybody else who is really involved in corporate processes. So as such, this is in itself a large ERP system where a simple user could basically interact and create his own scenarios and program them and train them within clicking a couple of buttons there. As you can see, like I said, a reiteration of the fact that we use only very well-renowned technologies and known databases that can easily be identified within the corporate IT infrastructure. I want to now go and talk a little bit about our Smart Clinic platform. Well, as you can see here, we have a lot of areas, starting with diagnostics and ending up with concrete hardware solutions where we can actually integrate hardware with software. I'm going to be showing you one of our products here. This is a patient infotainment terminal. This is one of the tools to increase the efficiency, how a medical institution basically can become a lean polyclinic and also become a digital clinic in itself. As you can see, it's very rich. It has iPavlov voice system that allows you to talk to the hardware directly. It has iPavlov CV systems where you can actually be identified and monitored by the hardware here. Everything you see on the screen can be actually customized. This is available also in mobile applications, and you could download it easily. So a medical institution can integrate it fully or partially, depending on their budget and availabilities. The terminal itself is very useful for elderly citizens who actually do need some sort of a terminal, some sort of an infotainment tool where they can actually, as a robot to human interaction, use. The neuroscanner is a complete library of analyzers of medical images. It has lots and lots of diseases that can be analyzed within. And what is really amazing about this technology is that, given our cooperation with clinics, in very short period of time, we can actually, based on their data, create a lot more screening solutions and services to give digital prognosis of the developing diseases. Now, when we go back to our NLP and CV, as you can see, the entire corporation is basically utilizing two large groups of technology, which is natural language processing and computer vision here. All the rest are the concrete problems that AI today, the weaker AI today, can actually handle. Given the sentiment analysis, given the auto informers that we have, given potentially productive profilometers that we can also develop, and that there are smart devices that can interact with the engineers without any intermediaries, basically. This is another showcase that we're doing with the leading metallurgic industry here in Russia. As you know, metals are very important in Russia, and their perfection is an important task. And what we basically do here is the CV, the computer vision, detects the defect that you have. And so the surface quality of the metal strip and the slat that you have is basically, can be identified with almost 100% precision, which allows you to completely automatize the process of preparing any metal strips that are very important in the production of them. Couple of projects that I'd like to also mention here is our efforts where we are actually digitalizing the government museums and archives. And when we talk about archives, we're talking about millions and millions of records. Just like with medical records, we can make them accessible to the public and to the private sector via our intellectual chatbots and our virtual assistants that let you talk to the archive directly. So you could ask a question and get an immediate response of any historic events or any government records that you really want to have an access. And when we talk about the banking technology, from the right, you can see an illustration of ABI, artificial business intelligence, for the banking applications, where we can do complete clusterization services for the banks, which is very important to understand what are the intents of the customers in this very growing digital economics that we have here. I'll just briefly mention the smart crossroads that we have. Here we work with Svabe, and with one of Svabe's most distinguished factories, WOMS, where we create complete digital lights, intellectual light systems for the cars and for the infrastructure here. We also allow, using our cryptographic solutions, have a complete object recognition system, and where we actually fight the deep fake, which is a growing concern. In housing and communal services, we do have quite a fair amount of projects, and I'm very proud of talking about here the system where we actually control the water channels in Russia. We have a large pilot project in Astrakhan, one of the regions in Russia, and we're going to be expanding it once the pilot is over. Well, basically, as a conclusion, I'd like to say that we are very much focused and aimed at developing Russian-Asian cooperation. We're talking to Korean companies, we're talking to Chinese companies, we're talking to Indian companies, and we are actively seeking partners who could actually take our products and technologies and distribute them in Asia, or we could customize our existing platforms and technology to meet the needs of Asian customers. But we're also open to the to the opposite interaction, where leading AI companies in Asia could be actually coming to us, as well as universities and research groups, where we could be implementing their solutions here in Russia for the Russian market. Well, this is our team that I'm very proud of every single person here. As you can see, we have weekly strategic sessions where we come together as a company, and you might actually participate in these strategic sessions where you could be actually directly interacting with our programmers, our researchers, and understand how the education, research, and development work together, since we are very much employing the students from the MIPT, and directly the professors in the university are also taking iPavlov as a course that they could be teaching in machine learning and data analysis. Just for you to understand what are the sectors of economics that we're very active in Russia, telecom, banking, and retail are the most vibrant in terms of implementing our AI solutions. But you can also see that other mixed industries and holdings noticeably are very active in working with us as well. Well, this is our building, and it's very symbolic that one of our major venues is MIPT's buildings. So, MIPT has a dedicated AI building that the third and fifth floors are occupied by iPavlov. And we would be very happy if you visited our venues here at Fistech or MIPT, or if you join us in Moscow. Well, thank you very much for this. And if you have any further questions and inquiries, I'll be very happy to answer them.